In February 2025, the world witnessed an event that changed the course of the Catholic Church. Pope Francis, the beloved leader of the Church, made an announcement that left everyone in shock. He declared his resignation, a decision that was rare and unexpected in modern times. The Vatican, usually a place of tradition and continuity, was suddenly filled with whispers of uncertainty and speculation. Pope Francis, known for his humility and dedication to the poor, had led the Church through many challenges. He had worked tirelessly to bring reforms, encourage dialogue, and address social justice issues. But as he spoke to the world, his voice carried a tone of reflection. He explained that age and health had made it difficult for him to continue his duties. The role of a pope required strength, energy, and vision, qualities that he believed a new leader could bring to the Church. His decision was made for the good of the Catholic community worldwide. The news of his resignation spread quickly. From the streets of Rome to the villages of Africa, people reacted with a mix of sadness and admiration. Pope Francis had been a leader who touched many lives, and his decision to step down was seen as an act of selflessness. Tributes poured in, thanking him for his years of service. The world now waited to see who would take on the enormous responsibility of leading the Catholic Church into the future. The College of Cardinals gathered in the Sistine Chapel to elect the new pope. Among them, one name stood out: Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle from the Philippines. He was known for his deep compassion, intellect, and dedication to the Church. Throughout his life, he had worked closely with the poor and marginalized, showing a commitment to social justice. Many believed he had the qualities needed for this crucial moment. As the voting process continued, anticipation grew among Catholics worldwide. Then, the moment arrived. White smoke rose from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel, signaling that a new pope had been chosen. The crowd in St. Peter's Square erupted in cheers, eager to know who the next leader would be. When the announcement was made, history was created. Cardinal Tagle had become the first Asian pope. The election of Pope Tagle was a turning point for the Catholic Church. It marked the recognition of Catholicism's global nature. For centuries, the Church had been centered in Europe, but with faith growing rapidly in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, it was time for new leadership. Pope Tagle's election symbolized a fresh perspective, one that embraced the realities of the modern world. The Philippines, a country with deep Catholic roots, celebrated this historic moment with joy and pride. The people saw Pope Tagle not only as their spiritual leader but also as a symbol of hope and unity. His journey to the papacy had been one of faith, dedication, and service. As he stepped onto the balcony to address the world for the first time, as Pope, the crowd in St. Peter's Square listened closely. His words were filled with love, humility, and encouragement. He spoke of building bridges between cultures, promoting peace, and strengthening the Church's mission to help those in need. Pope Tagle's vision for the Church was clear. He wanted a Church that was open to dialogue, engaged with the world, and committed to justice and mercy. He acknowledged the challenges ahead, including the ongoing clergy abuse crisis, the role of women in the Church, and the increasing gap between the rich and poor. But he called for unity, reminding Catholics that faith was not just about tradition but also about action and compassion. As the world faced political divisions, economic struggles, and social unrest, Pope Tagle's leadership came at a critical time. He encouraged people to focus on understanding and respect rather than conflict. He reminded Catholics of their responsibility to care for the less fortunate and to be a source of light in the darkness. His ability to connect with people, regardless of their background, made him a leader who could guide the Church into a new era. The challenges ahead were significant. The Catholic Church had to address internal issues while also responding to the needs of a rapidly changing world. Climate change, economic inequality, and religious extremism were just some of the concerns Pope Tagle would have to navigate. Yet his message was one of hope. He believed that by working together, people could bring about meaningful change. As his papacy progressed, Pope Tagle took bold steps to strengthen the Church's mission. He visited conflict zones, meeting with refugees and communities affected by war and violence. He engaged in discussions with leaders of other faiths, promoting unity and peace. He challenged world leaders to address the root causes of poverty and inequality, urging them to act with justice and compassion. His approach to leadership was deeply personal. He did not seek power or prestige, but instead focused on serving others. This made him a pope who was relatable, someone who understood the struggles of ordinary people. His background, having grown up in the Philippines, gave him a unique perspective on the needs of the global Catholic community. The impact of Pope Tagle's leadership was felt worldwide. His emphasis on inclusivity and dialogue resonated with Catholics everywhere. He inspired a new generation to embrace their faith with joy and conviction. His message of love, justice, and mercy became the foundation of his papacy. As time passed, his legacy continued to grow. The changes he introduced helped the Church move forward, adapting to the needs of the 21st century while staying true to its core teachings. Pope Tagle's vision was one of a church that welcomed all, that cared for the weak, and that stood as a beacon of hope in troubled times. The election of Pope Tagle was more than just a historic event. It was a sign of renewal and transformation. It was a moment that reminded the world of the power of faith, the strength of compassion, and the importance of unity. As he led the Catholic Church into the future, his message remained clear. Faith is not just about belief. It is about action, love, and service to others. Pope Tagle's journey was one of dedication and humility. His papacy was a reminder that true leadership comes from the heart, from a willingness to serve, and from a commitment to justice and mercy. As he continued his mission, the world watched with hope, believing that under his guidance the Catholic Church would shine even brighter in the years to come.